What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Two Dudes and One Album, the show where we discuss one new album every single week with your two co-hosts, Sam and Victor. Victor, how are you doing?
Pretty good, man. What's going on?
Not much, man. Just kind of relaxing, ready to record. How about you? How's it going?
Good. This week we got a doozy. I feel like this album's very divisive, like in general. It's the Money Store from Death Grips. Yeah. And I mean, I both love and hate this album simultaneously.
Yeah, right? Like, it's weird. Some of the songs on here I would definitely listen to, like, on my own time. But then there's some songs on here that I want to stay as far away from as possible. It's like, you know, like...
Good way to describe it.
Yeah. Yeah, so I guess I'll get into ratings really quick, and then you want to hop on. But overall, I just want to say that the album is, like, such a mess. But, like, a lot of the times it seems like that mess kind of, like, works. It's like an organized mess a lot of the times, and then other times it just feels like a fucking mess, which is why, like, I feel like I'm gonna give this album I want to say a 5, but I'm kind of leaning towards more of a 6, but I'm gonna go with 5 right now, and then we'll see if anything really changes by the end of it. But the reason I'm giving it a 5 is because I would say about half, if not a little over half of the songs I enjoy, but there's so many songs on here that I just drastically, like, don't like so much that, like, I would say it's about a 50% if I had to, like, really rank it. Like, I enjoy about 50% of this album, and then the other 50% I hate. So, yeah.
I feel like for me, like, if I hate parts of, like I don't hate any part of this album, really. Like, if I hated half of an album, I would give it way lower than a 5.
Well, like, see, that's the thing, is, like, it's not necessarily like, oh my god, this song is trash. It's just like, what the fuck am I listening to right now? Like, it's fine. I'll have it on.
It's like a reality check almost. Yeah. You're like, wait a minute, how did I get here?
Yeah, you're like, excuse me. I don't remember, but, like, that's the thing. And then there's certain songs like Get Got where, like, I'm into it, like, the whole way through. I'm super into this song, but there's certain parts of songs where I'm like, that's interesting that they chose to do that. Like, I don't understand it, but you guys do you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. How about you?
I've been giving this some thought. I think I'm gonna go with, like, a strong 7. Maybe like a 7.5.
Okay. Yeah.
The production of this album is actually just, like, really, really good.
It is really good.
I really like how they basically just have, like, 2 beats in every song. Just, like, hard swaps to a different beat over, like, the verses, or over the choruses, and then back to the first beat for the verse.
Yeah.
It's all, like, really abrasive and, like, gritty and bass heavy, and it's a little to get used to, but once you, like, kind of understand it,
the bass is super
really
heavy.
On you.
That's the thing. Is, like, the bass is kind of, like, really.
Hip hop's, like, one of the few genres that can get away with that. Like, you can't oversaturate anything but hip hop, right?
I'm saying it's a good thing to be honest, but, like, I don't know if I would classify this hip hop. Like, I really don't know about that.
I don't know what you call this. Like, it's like industrial, like, I don't know, horrorcore-ish.
Not even horrorcore though, right? Like, horrorcore is more about, like,
some of his, like, descriptions are just about, like, I don't know.
Yeah, but he's not really, like, rapping it, is he? He's kind of more screaming it at all times.
Right.
Yeah. Which is why I would, like, when I think of horrorcore, I think of something like Dance with the Devil by Immortal Technique, or, like, Delusional Thomas by Mac Miller. And, like, those are just, like, dark, gritty, like, lyrically, like, very horrific albums, or songs as well. But, like, when you think about something like this, there's, like, those elements aren't necessarily there. You're not listening for the lyrics. You're listening because of the energy of the song. You're listening because the production is really good. Their synth work is fantastic.
Oh, yeah, you know I love that.
Yeah. But yeah, it's not really got those elements of horrorcore that you would normally listen to, like like a Tyler.
I guess
McCreary.
maybe I'm like misrepresenting what I think horrorcore is. Well, it's what I think it is, so I guess I'm representing it well. But
Right.
to me, it's like just like shock value lyrics, like just like it's about like murder or like
Yeah.
something horrific. Like it doesn't necessarily have to be like a smooth like story.
Yeah.
He just talks about like beating the shit out of people or like tying them to cinder blocks. It's like that's pretty like horrific. Like it's a horror movie, right? Like you
Right.
don't want that.
Yeah. No, and I feel what you're saying. Like, I don't know. Like I still wouldn't classify it horrorcore. I would say it's more like industrial, experimental. I guess you could call it experimental hip hop. That's about as far as I would go.
Right. Yeah. I said like horrorcore ish, right? Like it's
Yeah.
kind of like I don't know. It has like those elements of like just horror shock.
Yeah. And you are right about that. I think it's just the way that it's presented that's kind of making me lean towards more of the not
Yeah.
horrorcore. But
Yeah, they're bringing in like electric guitars and stuff too. Like it's like,
right. And there's nothing wrong with guitars in hip hop, right? Like a bunch
No,
of
no.
songs use that. But like
but it's like heavily distorted too, right? Like
Yeah.
you're just getting like
yeah, it almost like I don't know, like bordering like it's
just abrasive. Like I guess the best way to describe this. It's
Yeah.
just
yeah.
it's meant to be that.
And,
And
like-
once you understand that, it's like, all right, I guess that's what I'm getting into, and I kind of like it.
Yeah, but I feel like we knew what we were getting into going into this album. I feel like a regular listener, I guess a regular listener would never just like come across Death Grips either, right? But I don't like
Well, yeah. For me, like I didn't really know what I was getting into. I knew they were described as industrial experimental hip hop, basically. And I was like, I don't know what that means. Like those are just words put together, but
Yeah,
what does
yeah.
that actually mean, right?
right. And that's because you've never heard anything like it because they're so unique. Like, there's nobody else out there doing what they're doing. You could argue maybe that like some of the screamo rappers that you get nowadays, like
Yeah, those emo rappers, yeah, like SoundCloud emo rap,
Yeah.
whatever you want to call it, are definitely getting into that as well, where they're like literally screaming over top of these really heavy beats.
yeah, but I would also say those are more conventional beats than what you're getting on a Death Grips project because this
Right.
like some of the beats on
It's
here are
like,
nuts.
it seems like they're pretty Death Grips inspired, though, right?
Yeah. I agree.
Because this is a 2012 release, so
Yeah, this is
that didn't
old
really
now.
start popping up until the last 3 years ago.
No, I mean I feel like they were popular when I was in grade 12. So I
I'm
was,
talking
like-
about the emo
Oh yeah.
emo rappers
Like 3
that
4
didn't start
years
popping
ago.
up till more recently.
Yeah.
You want to hop into the tracks?
Yeah. I'm totally down. We can start with okay, so Get Got. I actually really like this song. I think this is a single too. I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong, but
Okay.
yeah.
Uh,
I love the beat. I love how he's not really like screaming in it. I actually do like that. How his voice, like the tone of his voice goes really well with like the drum beat and the synths in the back that are very explosive and very fast paced. I love it. It's
Synths
fantastic.
are nuts. And it's just this like,
Yeah,
like just
yeah.
like going off for like so long.
It's so
And
good.
it's almost too long. Like I
Right.
like I have it like it's almost too repetitive. Like right as I'm starting to get fed up with like, okay, I'm done with hearing this fucking like wall of noise in my ears and just switch to something
Yeah.
else. They like barely don't outstay their welcome.
Yeah. What did you think though about like? There's not a lot of screaming in this track, right?
No.
No.
It shows that he can actually be like if he wanted to, he could just be a rapper.
Mhm.
But it's not what
Yeah.
he's going for. But like you can tell that he has like the voice or the flow for it or
Right,
whatever out of
yeah.
the track.
Yeah, and I forget his name. I used to know his name a long time ago, but I think Death Grips is a group of 3 guys, right?
Yeah, there's 2 producers
Yeah.
and the MC Ride.
MC Ride, yeah, that's his name. I think is like I've never heard him on literally anything else. So I'm not really sure like where these guys.
I
even
think he was
came
just
from.
like a really small underground rapper or something before they all got together.
Right. It's funny where if you Google Death Grips and you go to people also search for, the first thing on there is fucking Anthony Fantano.
Yeah.
Melonhead, bro.
If you want to segue or tangent into that for a moment, that guy fucking loves these guys. Like
Yeah, dude, he rides them so hard.
it's ridiculous. I was looking at it. This is the first 10 out of 10 he ever gave this album.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Wait, so this was I guess this would have been before To Pimp a Butterfly. Holy shit, dude.
This is his first 10 out of 10 album he's ever reviewed. That's nuts to me.
That is absolutely nuts. Yeah, I
Guy's
don't
off
know.
his rocker. This is not a 10 out of 10 album.
Definitely not.
It's good, but damn, dude.
I mean, yeah, some of the songs are good, like I said, but I feel like you just lose me at so many parts of the album. Like, I don't know. I guess like another thing is like we don't. Do you want to go into the lyrics? I mean, we don't really have to. There's nothing like too crazy going on in the lyrics.
It's just like a little bit of just like being psychotic. I don't
Yeah.
know. It's kind of like the whole thing
Yeah,
where
yeah.
he's
Like descending
just
to
portraying this like crazy, like he's basically like the villain from Mad Villainy, but like more hardcore.
yeah. Definitely way more hardcore than that, but yeah.
Like though he starts like the third verse, it's like lycanthropic manic cycles, fire, water, burning Bibles.
Yeah, but like
Just like sounds good. Like he's just like so fast, it's like da 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 da
Yeah,
da da da
I
da
can't-
da,
I can't
and
really
it's all
pick up on
rhymes.
the-
It sounds so fucking good.
I can't really pick up on like individual words when I'm listening to it though, because like the background is so overpowering.
Oh my
you know?
god, yeah, he's almost just another instrument. It's
Yeah,
not like
yeah.
like traditional rap where you have like the voice as the forefront.
Mm-hmm.
It's just kind of like just part of the wall of noise. Like,
Yeah, I agree. He's almost like he is definitely not in the forefront. He is on some tracks, but specifically on this one, he is very much.
hell no, you're just driven. You're just picked up by that like crazy like synth arpeggio repeated over and over again.
Yeah. It's absolutely ridiculous how like, but it sounds good. Like I don't understand. It's
Oh,
like
it's so good.
it's an organized mess. This is a great example of like the organized mess that I was describing earlier.
Hmm. Yeah, good intro track. Definitely tells you what they're about.
Yeah, it definitely
Like,
sets
if you,
you up.
if you can't stomach the first song, you got to get the fuck out of this album. Like,
Yeah, because it only ramps up, right?
yeah, yeah.
So, the Fever. Did you like this track?
I love this track.
Okay, so break it down for me. I don't mind this track. This isn't a track that I'm like, ooh, I don't like this, but I also don't think it's one of the stronger tracks on the album. So,
Like the intro bass for this just sounds like a spaceship launching off like over and over again. It's just like this.
yeah.
It's like it's crazy. It's everywhere. It's awesome. It's just like you're just being bombarded with this. You're like, what the fuck is happening?
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, again, like I'm not really listening too much to the lyrics, like
Yeah.
overall, but the hook on this song is so good.
No, I actually agree with you there. It kind of like all comes together for the hook. It's really, really good. But
Hmm.
he's not really saying much in the hook, right? What's he saying? I got the fever.
I got the diamond scrape inside, and,
Oh, right. Yeah.
and then he goes, "I got the fever."
Yeah.
Like yelling it, and you got this like crazy beat in the background, just like, oh man, everything
Yeah,
about
yeah,
this
yeah.
is just like it's
Right.
it's so hype. It's just hype as hell.
Yeah. I mean, I think that it's definitely good, but like a lot of the songs on here are actually just really hype. I'll agree with you there.
I think that's why I like it so much. Like I had to listen to this album probably 3 or 4 times before I felt comfortable reviewing it.
Yeah. You listen to it a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, and every time those hooks roll around, like his hooks are just like, I'm like, yes, this is it. This is definitely it.
Right. I
And then,
the
like,
first
I'm just
time I
losing
listened to
myself in these like droning bass lines all the time. Like,
Mhm.
not even just that song specifically, like all over the album. And it's just like I'm just listening to it, and I'm like, this is crazy. And then the hooks come through, and I'm like, yeah, sing it, brother. Like I'm like yelling lyrics at my computer.
That's funny. Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like this would be really good live, to be honest. You know what I mean? Like, this would be so lit to go to like a live show or something.
Oh, I would love to see a Death Grip show. Actually, that'd be
Yeah.
fun. We should try and do that if they come around and there's no viruses.
I feel like, yeah, and there's no viruses is very important. But, yeah, I feel like the energy at their shows must be absolutely insane, right? Like,
Oh, I would think so. Yeah,
yeah.
it gives like heavy dubstep vibes.
Yeah, almost, right? But like it doesn't have the wubs, which is like it differentiates itself.
Just the like it's the same wall of sound and the same like heavy ass bass. It's just like a different kind of style, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like I don't know if you've like seen people at dubstep shows, but they are like off the chain hype.
Yeah,
Like, it's
yeah.
actually kind of nuts.
Yeah,
And
so
I
it's
feel like
probably
you would get
something
that
like
with this as well, but like it would also be like a little bit more like a metal show at the same time, right?
Yeah, I think you'd have some sort of a hardcore crowd as well, right? Like,
Yeah, that's exactly where I was getting at. Is yeah, it'd be like the hardcore people
hmm
who are into hardcore would
yeah,
yeah, definitely be fucking with this.
yeah, I actually
Yeah,
agree with you.
super cool live.
Yeah. Um. So Lost Boys, what do you think about this track? I actually like this track.
Lost Boys. Yeah, I didn't write too much about this.
Oh,
Um.
okay.
Oh yeah, this. Okay, yeah. Sorry, I had to play the beat again. There's so
Yeah,
many different weird beats.
I know. Yeah, it's hard to
Yeah,
keep
this
track
shit
of
is
it.
like hella droning.
Yeah, it's so good,
It
right?
just
Like,
goes across like the entire song. Like this is one of the few songs where you don't really get a beat switch up. You just hear
yeah,
this whoa 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 whoa
yeah,
whoa,
yeah, yeah.
just like going like ever.
It's pretty
It's like
good.
really hard to rap over. I noticed his flow was like quite unique on this track.
Yeah, and I think that's probably intentional because it's not even offbeat. He's just kind of saying words, and like you're like, all right,
Yeah, I feel like this album gets the Mad Villainy treatment from me.
okay,
Like they're just saying shit, but then like all of their fans will look into it and be
right.
like, "Oh, he's going so deep with like look at the way he like lines these bars up
Oh, I
together or
haven't gone
whatever."
deep into that. Are they
And I'm
deeply
like,
analyzing it?
I'm not feeling that. Yeah, I was like, as I was going through this, like every single song I had to listen to like twice the first time, so I actually
hmm
spent like an hour and a half listening to this. What is it? It's like a 44-minute album, I think.
Yeah.
And I spent a long time listening to it the first time, so I had to go back because I was like, it's getting lost in like genius comments, people talking about like what they're trying to say in the song, and I'm just like, you guys are on one.
Yeah, I'm looking at this right now. This is absolutely ridiculous. Like he said,
Yeah,
coming out the cuts like your favorite scar, and this guy just goes into cutting, like
yeah.
yeah, cutting your wrist. It's like
It's a
yeah,
play on words. He said cut. He came out
yeah.
of the cuts. It's like, yeah,
It's like
okay.
death. Like MC, he literally goes deep into it. So he's like, MC Ryan is talking about how Death Grips is similar to self harm by cutting yourself. It's like, that's
It's
definitely
like,
not what
oh,
I'm getting.
that's so deep, brother. Like, no,
yeah,
it's just fucked up. Yeah, this whole thing's meant to just be like shock and horror,
yeah,
fucking off. But yeah, this song is one of the more throwaway ones for me. It's still good, but like, it's a little repetitive.
yeah. It is like I actually
You
enjoy it.
either fuck with those wubs or you don't, I guess, right?
Right. Yeah.
For me, it's all right, but I kind of wanted a beat switch up in this song like they do in the other ones.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, the beat's probably more standard on this than it is
Oh, it's
on
definitely out there, but it's like
yeah.
at least once you get used to it, it's just there, right?
Right. Yeah, that's what I mean. Is like there's not like a lot of crazy changes.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, not a whole lot to say. I don't really like this. I don't feel the hype on it. It's good. It's all right. Like I don't mind it. This song's probably like a 5 out of 10, 4 out of 10,
Yeah.
5.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd probably go with like this song's probably like a 7, maybe closer to an 8, but I like it. I enjoyed it. And yeah, and then it just leads into Blackjack, which is like Blackjack's a pretty short song to be honest.
Yeah, 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, again with just like the heavy overproduced beat,
Yeah, I feel like we're gonna be
crazy
saying
big
that a lot.
bass.
Yeah. Um
Like this would not be out of place at a dubstep show. If you heard this beat at a dubstep show, like
yeah, but I
people would
feel
be
like
yeah,
what changes everything is like as soon as you hear like the guy literally like screaming, or like just like laying down bars. You're just,
yeah. Like
yeah,
the vocals don't fit for dubstep, but like if you just heard this as like a segue song in between like two bangers of like a
yeah,
dubstep show,
yeah.
you'd be like, yeah, that checks out.
I wonder if the two producers were just like dubstep producers who were like, let's make industrial hardcore experimental hip hop.
Maybe I don't know. I don't really know don't know Andy Morin or Zach Hill. Was it
Yeah.
guys?
I don't know them either.
But like I I don't know. Maybe like hypothesizing here. Maybe one did like more like electronic music stuff, and then the other
hmm
one was like a hip hop producer, and they kind of just like made this weird bastard child.
So one of the guys is actually not a producer; he's a drummer.
Oh,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
makes
yeah,
sense.
yeah,
That makes a lot of sense, actually.
yeah. Because a lot there's so many.
The
Yeah,
drumming's pretty crazy on this album.
yeah. I actually, and then the other guy is the producer, and then you have the vocalist, obviously. But it seems here that they literally weren't doing anything until Death Grips. None of these guys were.
Right, maybe they were just like doing stuff in their bedroom or something. They all got together.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think that's definitely probably the case. Like they probably had some sort of experience, but yeah,
Yeah, I don't think you just come out the gate making this. Like,
no, but you could, right? Because it's the same concept as what the fuck are they called? Captain Beefheart. Remember I was telling you about this? Where like,
it is, but this makes more sense.
yeah, I agree, but like, I
Yeah.
think it's the same concept.
You want to go into Captain Beefheart for a moment? I'll let you explain this.
Okay, Captain Beefheart is an anomaly in the math rock and like the progressive rock community because essentially what happened was a bunch like this guy hired this band and gave them all sheet music that he had written, except this guy had absolutely zero experience with song structure and zero experience with like basic music like structure, and it was fucking all over the place, and he actually accidentally ended up coming across a lot of very cool polyrhythms because none of the instruments were lining up at all at any point during the song, but that's basically what happened accidentally. And then you get a lot of like these pseudo intellectuals being like, yeah, this is some really, really good music. So it's essentially like it's the same concept as this. I agree this is a little more standard than Beefheart, but I would say it's the same thing where like you get a bunch of new people who like have never really been popular before, and then they just make a band and then they accidentally come across this like genre of music. Because they were some of the first people to be doing like I guess true
Hardcore
math
rap.
rock. Yeah.
Oh, those guys.
Yeah, yeah, Beefheart.
Well, you've got like all sorts of crazy polyrhythms going back for a long time. Like King Crimson in like the '60s was making.
Yeah, but like that's what I'm saying is like Beefheart was 60s.
Mm,
67, yeah.
I didn't know about that.
Yeah, that's
I
what I
thought
mean.
those had more. I thought it was newer.
No.
Right? Yeah, because yeah, King Crimson's like well regarded as like basically one of like the forefather bands of like
Yeah.
prog.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, they do a lot of cool things.
Fun fact
Some
about
of their guitar work.
King Crimson too. 21st Century Schizoid Man is actually the sample that Kanye used for
Yeah.
Power. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a fun little
Mhm.
homage. Somehow he knows about King Crimson of
Yeah,
all
that's
people.
funny. Yeah. Anyways, back to the review. We got way too sidetracked.
Yeah, it's fine. Give the people what they want.
yeah, Hustle Bones. I love this song. Not gonna
I
lie.
do. I also love this song. This song is
Yeah.
good. I did not like it at first. Like the whole like
Really?
I don't know what you call it, like vocoder beat over top of the hook. It's like
Yeah,
it's like
yeah,
the
yeah.
top of vocals. It's like
Oh
over and
yeah,
over again.
dude, I really fuck with that. Wait,
I was like, I don't like this at all. And then the more I've heard this song, I'm like, yeah, okay, I like this a lot. It's really fun. It's very like Outcast vibes for me.
Outcast.
Just like I don't know, like the way that beat goes, like especially that hook, it just like sounds like a weird, quirky Outcast. Maybe
Like-
I'm crazy.
Like the Andre 3000 group?
Yeah.
Can you explain?
Just the hook.
Because I'm not saying I don't want to just be like you're wrong, but like
Have you ever like explored like Speaker Box Love Below
no.
in its entirety? There are some weird songs on that album. I can't name off the top of my head right now.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Okay.
But they have some really like bizarre beat shit going on, and like some of like the I guess you call them like B sides of that album. That album has like 45 tracks. It's ridiculous. It's like
Oh, okay. I might have to. I guess I'm just not well versed enough in Outcast. Like I feel like you're probably right. You've convinced me. Like
how many tracks are actually on here? It's an hour 30 or it's 134 minutes. This
so,
album.
it's like 2 hours and 10 minutes.
Yeah. Track listing. There's 19 plus 20. Yeah, so there's 39 tracks on this album.
Yeah, that's a lot. But like, is that like a deluxe edition? That
It's a double album technically because it's
okay.
Speaker Box / The Love Below.
Okay. Yeah.
So Speaker Box is produced by Big Boy, and then The Love Below is produced by Andre 3000.
Oh, okay.
So they both kind of like did their own thing and then just put it together as their hip hop duo.
I had no idea that Andre actually produces. I thought he was just a vocalist.
I don't know if he's a producer or if he's just like the driving influence for it, but like,
Right.
yeah. Andre 3000 definitely produced Love Below.
Oh, I actually didn't know he did that. That's cool. Learn something new every day.
So yeah, just like the hook there gave me like a bit of that, just like the weird quirky parts. Overall though, I like this song a lot. I like the bridge or like I guess I call it a bridge, like the pre-hook, like
Yeah.
run up bitch to get to the death, get grip, my steez is balling out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Just the way he sounds, like his voice sounds so good there, and then just comes into that hook and it's like, ooh.
Yeah, the producer is so good at meshing his voice with everything else that's going on. Like, he always knows exactly what to do with it, and it never
like when to make it heard and when to not make it heard.
Yeah, exactly. When to make it part of the background and when to make it really in the foreground, and it never feels out of place. Like, it's very, very good in that way.
Yeah. He has very unorthodox flow overall. Like
He
in a lot
does,
of
yeah.
songs,
No, he's
but-
definitely not a conventional rapper by any means, right? Like, I don't think anybody's making that claim.
Yeah. Yeah, this song is super, super good. I love the production on this song. I like the hook. I love the pre-chorus.
Yeah, I think this is one of my favorites on the album. I think like, and also if I were to show Death Grips to somebody, I feel like I would show them this song.
If you want them to get like the actual Death Grips like vibe.
Yeah.
Okay. Like I guess Get Got is also very good for that.
Yeah. That, and I would say I've Seen Footage and Double Helix are also.
I was gonna say I would show somebody I've Seen Footage, the next track.
I agree. That would
but
probably
that is not what they are about. That song is like by far the most accessible on the album.
Yeah.
I've Seen Footage. That's also like heavy Outcast vibes.
Really? Dude, maybe I just don't understand Outkast. I've only listened to like 2 of their albums. So
Right.
yeah.
I don't know what it is about it. It's just like
Is it the beat or is it the way it's gotta be the beat, right?
it's the beat and the hook for
Like the way he's rapping? No.
yeah.
Wow.
Alright, we'll
Dude,
move on to I've Seen Footage, I guess. Yeah, Hustle Bones, fantastic track. I'm into it.
Yeah. Like you're saying I've Seen Footage, you're getting Outkast vibes from it as well.
I've seen footage. I say noted. I've seen footage. Yeah, that's like hella Outcast vibes. And then the beat overall, just the repeating little guitar lick there. It's just like hell yeah. Outcast is into that.
Man, I feel like I gotta listen to more Outkast, bro.
I don't know. I haven't listened to too much of them. I've heard that album, Speaker Box Love Below, like a dozen times.
Right.
And that's what I'm basing most of the thoughts off of. So
Yeah.
I don't know if that's like a transitional point in their careers or what. Like other than like their big hits, like that's pretty much all I know.
is that their 2003 album?
Yeah.
Okay. So I've
With
listened
like the way you move and Hey Ya, or like
right. I've listened
and
to
Roses. It's also on
AT
that album.
Aliens. Sorry, AT Aliens, which is their 96 album.
Yeah,
And then Aqua Mini is my favorite by them. And that's like the reason I'm confused is because like you listen to Aqua Mini and it's like pretty standard jazz rap with a lot of like really
Right.
good lyrics and storytelling, right? Which is why like when I think Outkast, that's definitely what I think about. But I guess I'll have to go and check out their other stuff because maybe it's just more experimental.
it's a little more experimental. It's not like crazy out there, but like
Right.
I guess like Ghetto Music is I guess a track off of there that like kind of weird and out there.
Okay. I have it pulled up right here, yeah.
I don't know. I don't really remember a lot of these tracks by title. I just like know
Yeah.
them.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah, this is like by far their most accessible track.
Mm-hmm.
This song it kind of makes sense like lyrically. If you want to get into the lyrics a
Yeah.
bit, he's talking about like the shit he's seen in the hood, in the ghetto,
Yeah.
right? And he's like, there's a lot of crazy shit. Like I've seen footage. Like basically he has like these movies or like these tracks stuck in his head, right? Where he just sees like whole scenes play out again over and over again. Like he's kind of going schizo or crazy from it.
Yeah, I feel like
I've
it's
seen
actually
footage.
pretty
I think I
deep.
did.
Yeah, that's pretty deep, dude.
I don't know if you're trolling me or not, but like lyrically, the song actually works out that way.
I'm like
Because
slightly
I was
trolling.
just talking all these people look into the lyrics before,
Yeah.
but
No, I'm like
this song's like a way more traditional rap track.
yeah, I'm like slightly trolling, but like I actually do think that that is a little deep. I didn't get that because I don't pay attention to the lyrics when I'm listening to Death Grips, but I'm reading through it right now and like, yeah, you're right. This is actually pretty deep. Like he's talking about an armored cop with a Glock, and yeah, I mean it's pretty lyrical, I guess. Again, I wouldn't listen to this song for the lyrics though, right?
I would listen to any of this for the lyrics, but
Yeah,
I think it's worth noting that this song actually has a decent structure in that regard.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love
I
the
mean,
beat. I love like how it changes in the chorus. I love it. It's fantastic.
yeah, that's also a big like Outkast vibe. Just the way like the drums like break,
Yeah.
kind of like it just like feels like an Outkast like BPM slash like drum beat. Just like yeah, okay.
Damn, maybe these guys have like heavy Outcast influences, bro.
I don't think they do. I think I just made a connection that's probably not valid. It's just what I felt, and that's what I think about it. So
I mean, I trust your opinion. I love
enough.
the one comment at the bottom where it's just like noited in like all caps.
What does noided even mean?
I have no idea. Hold on.
I stayed noided. Noids, also known as synthetic cannabis,
Oh, I see.
meant to mimic the effects of cannabis but with stronger and less predictable effects, as well as a tendency to cause kidney failure.
So I think it means like I think that what it means is like you know when you get really paranoid from weed.
Okay, yeah,
I think
I can see that.
yeah, I think that like when you're really paranoid from weed, you say that you're noided.
Mm.
Yeah.
It could be a play on word as well, because yeah, apparently noids are also a synthetic cannabis, so it's both. Like he's fucked up on weed and paranoid.
Right. Yeah.
So he's noided. That's pretty dope. I like
Yeah.
that.
So it seems like I think they literally made it up because like one of the terms is like one of the definitions is like used by Death Grips and is a popular word used by their fans.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. They're like, oh, maybe it was just like, you know how like your group of friends just has like weird slang that only
Yeah.
you guys
I think
understand?
that's got to be where it is. It's
That's
probably
probably like an inside joke where they're like, noided just means paranoid, but then like it became popular because of this.
right. Yeah. But
That's kind of fun.
I think it just means paranoid. If I had to.
Yeah. Yeah, I was just getting the annotation. It was saying it's also synthetic cannabis, which I've never heard of, but apparently that's a thing.
Synthetic cannabis.
Well, synthetic cannabis is definitely a thing, but
Yeah, it's-
I meant being called noids.
Oh, yeah. I've never heard of that either. But yeah, it's synthetic cannabis is pretty fucked up, dude.
Yeah, just smoke some weed, dude.
Yeah.
Or just like eat an edible. Like,
Yeah. It's like you ever seen like footage of people on it?
no.
It's really fucked, bro.
They did say it's unpredictable though.
Yeah,
So,
and the withdrawal, yeah, because it's not regulated. So because it's sold as incense, but people just smoke it. And
oh gosh.
yeah, and like the withdrawal from it is like instant, dude. You start like shaking, like it's really bad. It's not good. Stay away from that stuff. Don't,
Yeah, they were
don't
saying,
do,
don't do drugs, kids.
don't do synthetic cannabinoids, kids.
Yeah, it was saying it's known to cause kidney failure as well, so
Yeah.
I'm not into that.
I mean, I believe that. Yeah, it's definitely not something you want. I think like if you go to the gas station, have you ever seen like those packets that's
And then you just start drinking gas because you want to get high?
yes, actually, yeah, and huffing it as well.
Yeah.
No, like have you ever seen those like packets that say spice? They're like small little green packets.
Oh,
like,
yeah. There's like all sorts of those like weird unregulated quote unquote incenses, but it's just like powder you smoke.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, but it gets you
Yeah.
super fucked up, and it's really bad for you. Yeah.
Yeah, like when I was in high school, Salvia was somewhat popular in that regard. You could just go to the gas station and just buy a hit of Salvia and just get dirty
Wait,
fucked up.
you could buy salvia at your gas station?
Yeah, dude.
What?
Yeah, this
Was
is
it
before
like,
it got like properly regulated, I guess.
was it actually salvia?
Yeah. Yeah. You saw some shit.
Holy shit. Bro, I remember the only time I ever fucking did that, it literally like blew my knockers. I never tried it again. It was fucked up.
Yeah, there was like that was a whole thing.
Yeah, it's definitely a weird psychedelic, I'll give you that much.
But yeah, it was sold as incense at the gas station, so I guess that's probably where you would get that cannabis too, right?
Yeah, that's where you get it. I saw this whole Vice documentary on it. I'm kind of an expert on the subject.
Oh, of course. Vice actually makes great docs for
Yeah,
drugs.
they actually do make really good documentaries. I saw one where a guy went to Mexico or like Brazil to like a frog to get super high.
Yeah, that shit's weird. You have to like dry it out and it.
Yeah.
Yeah. On the double helix?
Yeah, I really like Double Helix as well.
The song didn't do too much for me. It's
Really?
alright.
How come? Because this is like, so I would say that those three tracks back like in a row, Hustle Bones, I've Seen Footage, and Double Helix, that's like the highest point in the album for me.
Actually, I don't know. When I think about it, yeah. Like, I don't know, I just re-listened a little bit, like 5-10 seconds, and
Yeah.
yeah, the beat in this is really, really good. The drums are off the chain.
Yeah, the drums are so good. And
And then the way they chop up his vocals, like the double
yeah,
thing.
oh, I love that.
Oh man,
Oh.
yeah, I fuck with the chopped vocals for sure.
Yeah, yeah, it's so good. I don't really have much else to say. Like structurally, I think it's fine. Like the hooks, the way the beat changes up during the hooks too is actually like fantastic. But the verses are like really long in this song, and I actually really like that too. How it's like he's rapping pretty fast as well. It's like I don't know, I kind of like it, but you can't really tell what he's saying, but it's fine, right? Like
Yeah, and really that's that beat right out too, right?
yeah. I really like it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good track. Yeah, it's almost like drum bass, right? It's just like not the same drum pattern, but like the BPM is like way up there.
It almost is like drum and bass, like very slightly, but yeah.
And I wrote my notes. I really like that it's a break from like the more hardcore stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's not like yelling over the mic and just screaming random
Yeah,
shit.
it reminds me kind
Like,
of like,
just like-
of Get Got, kind of like that vibe.
Yeah, but to have it more in the middle of the album, it's just a nice break. Like, because you don't want to be
Yeah.
just bombarded by all that bullshit for like a whole 45 minutes, right? You need
Yeah.
some sort of like cool down.
Right, I
And
agree with you. Yeah.
The song delivers that very well in the context of the album.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I actually agree. So yeah, kind of like a break, and yeah, like I said, those three tracks back to back, 5, 6, and 7, fantastic. I was like so on board with this album when I heard those three songs in a row. I was like, holy
Right.
shit, this album's an actual 8. And then, yeah.
Yeah, it's funny because you were telling me when I suggested this, you're like, I've heard this album and I hate it, and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
it's gonna be a spicy podcast. So then you've actually listened more and you like it. I like
Well,
that.
yeah, I think it's also because like I was a dumb kid, bro, and I used to be like very much like I was so
Oh
like
yeah, kids are so elitist about their music. Like
Yeah.
that's just a symptom of being a teenager.
I listened to it in grade 12, and I was so like I was such a traditionalist when it came to hip hop and rap. Like I don't know. I thought that I was like the judge of like what's good and what's bad rap. Like I was so confident in like my ability to like, judge rap. But like and I understand that this isn't rap, but I remember it being classified as hip hop. I watched the Fantano review on it. Then I was like, fuck, I gotta really watch these. I gotta really listen to these guys. Then I listened to it. I was so underwhelmed and disgusted. That's all I remember.
Fantano hypes it up too much though. Like you can't go into this album expecting a 10 out of 10 out of
Yeah.
like a harsh music critic, and then be like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah. And like I think the reason why was because at the time when I had listened to it, he had given To Pimp a Butterfly a 10 out of 10. And
Right.
To Pimp a Butterfly is one of my favorite albums. So I remember watching that video, the Death Grips one, and me just being like, bro, I gotta fucking watch this. Like, Fantano put me on To Pimp a Butterfly. I can't just, like, not try this. And then I just remember being so sad. Like,
Funny.
yeah. Anyways,
Yeah, decent song, good break.
yeah. Yeah. I actually really like it. And it goes right into System Blower, which is a little more hardcore too. So I think it does serve its purpose.
Super hardcore.
Yeah, it serves its purpose.
Way
as,
back
like,
to that yelling nonsense.
the yelling nonsense that I love so much.
It has its moments.
Yeah,
It's just like,
I remember one of my friends described this to me as homeless man screams over techno beat. I thought that's so funny, man. I thought
it's pretty accurate. Especially, yeah, especially when you see what he looks like. Like I watched the video for Guillotine, and I was like, this guy looks fucking homeless.
Yeah, I think that's literally where the meme comes from because it's a huge
Yeah,
meme in the Death Grip community.
I saw I don't know where I read it, but I saw a comment somewhere. I think it was on YouTube, one of the songs, and it was they were like, I met MC Ride, and he stayed humble and true to his roots. I saw him yelling to himself underneath of a bridge with a blanket. Thought that was so funny.
Excuse me. Yeah, you know what's funny about System Blower 2? Hello.
What's funny about System Blower 2?
It includes a sample from a tennis match.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Oh, weird.
And a recording of a train.
Oh, yeah, tennis match from Serena Williams. What the fuck?
Isn't that weird as fuck? Like, oh my god.
Ah! Whenever she hits the fucking ball, she always makes a noise.
The guys are listening to it. They're like, we can make a song out of this, guys.
We can work with this.
That pretty much sums up Death Grips, but yeah, I know I like it. And like System Blower as well, kind of, it doesn't start out super hardcore. It kind of like builds into that really well.
Yeah, but like I don't want to call it double entendre, but I think like by definition, like System Blower, like it's meant to fuck up your car system, right? Like your stereo system.
Yeah.
Like, the bass is just overload on this song. It's actually insane.
Dude, yeah, the bass is, but like I love it. I love it so much. I remember when I was listening to it, I just had my headphones in and I literally had to turn down my phone because it was so fucking loud. But I love it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It kind of gives like more dubstep vibes again, I guess. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if you heard the subgenre of dubstep called Riddim, RIDDIM.
No. Is it just like rhythm?
Yeah, like imagine like dubstep with like melody. Like you're listening to like I don't know, it's Skrillex, even though he's not like I guess true dubstep. If you want to get into that, whatever.
I don't feel like I'm knowledgeable enough. You can get into it if you want. But...
No, I don't want to. But like, when you think of dubstep as like a normie, you'd be like, oh yeah, it's Skrillex. It has like great melodies, right? Like it's just like big soaring melodies over top of like big wubs.
Yeah.
Like Riddim is all of that without melody. It's just like whoop, whoop, whoop,
Oh,
whoop,
really? Okay.
whoop, whoop. Like, okay.
Yeah.
Like, where's the melody? That's what makes dubstep like tolerable, you know?
Yeah, so it's literally just the wubs. It's people who were like, you know what, not enough wubs, and then
Yeah, so they're just like laying down like I guess you'd call it like genty. It's basically like the gent of EDM.
Okay, yeah, that's okay. I know exactly what you mean. All right, yeah,
Right.
That was a good
like,
way to
like
describe
gent is like the metal subgenre. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's basically that. And I was getting some pretty big rhythm vibes out of this, which I don't know. I'm not big on rhythm.
Well, I've never really listened to it, so I couldn't tell you, but it sounds like I would hate it. So, what did you think of the cage?
But I think, like again, like can't overlook just how good the hooks are. Like, when he just yells shit.
Yeah. That's I feel like those are their high points, right? Like without the hooks, if it was just him like going on long tangents, like, you know,
it's literally just a homeless rambling man. They've got like, yeah.
But yeah, like I feel like the hooks are what like really brings the song together. And as strange as it is, bro, most of their songs are pretty like they're pretty structured like normally. You know what I mean? I would expect like more experimental structuring from these guys, but it's pretty much just verse, hook, verse, and then outro.
Yeah. Yeah, as bizarre as the production is and how out there they are, they do stick to a. That's what I was saying too. Like you were talking about whatever that band, I forget the name of that band you were saying. The
Beefheart.
yeah,
Yeah.
like I didn't actually listen to them. You just described it to me, and I was like, okay, I don't need this in my life.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like these guys at least have like a structure, right? Like it's just like verse,
Well,
bridge, hook.
that's what I was saying is like these guys are more conventional than Beefheart, which is saying a lot about Beefheart more than anything. But uh, yeah, like I think like where they get experimental is like their mesh of subgenres. Because I would say it's
Mhm.
a mesh of like techno, hardcore, and rap. Right? If you really
Yeah,
wanted
and
to like
whatever you want to call industrial. I don't know what you want to call that. It's just kind of
well, I
whatever.
would say that kind of just falls in the umbrella of like EDM.
Yeah.
Right? So
Yeah, well, I think it's more of like a descriptor, I guess, genres, right? There's like
yeah.
there's like industrial metal, industrial techno, industrial whatever.
Yeah, like Yeezus.
It has this just like gritty, like it
Right.
almost sounds like you're in a factory, right?
Yeah. Like Yeezus is pretty industrial.
Yeah, I guess I would also fall under that category.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Cage. I like this song a lot. I like the melody.
Yeah, I love the very beginning too, the way that the intro starts with the production on it. And it's got a really long intro too, right? Like sorry he doesn't say anything for like what, like maybe 30
Right,
seconds.
there's just that like little melody, right? It's kind of like Vasilisa with like just like that like 6 note guitar lick that they keep
Yeah.
bringing back over and over again. It's
they-
pretty much like the same kind of cute little melody like that
Mhm.
that I enjoy.
And they just
with-
let it ride.
Again, just it's like huge, just droning. Everything just has this like droning, big, huge bass notes over it, like every song.
Yeah. Love
Then
it.
they have this like fun little synth, just like high pitched melody going,
Oh,
and it kind of
dude, I
like
love
makes
the
the song nice instead
Mhm.
of like scary.
Yeah. Every element of this album that they're utilizing is so important to the song. Like, I feel like if you were to take any part of that song out, you would ruin it. You know what I mean? Like, if you were to take like the synths
It's a-
out of a lot of the songs, or like if you were to take like the drumming out, or if you were to take like, I guess even like I feel like maybe if you take out the vocals, it could still be enjoyable. But if as far as the instrumental goes, they're pretty like
It's a very delicate.
yeah, it is.
Like
Yeah.
they've created something that's like
It's chaos.
It's sketchy. Doesn't really work, but it kind of works. And it's like they worked really hard to like ride that line between
Yeah.
good and bad, right?
Yeah. I
And
agree.
yeah, it's a very delicate balance. They can't. Yeah,
So I guess I'll give them that. That like all of the songs are obviously like very carefully like analyzed, and like if you were to take anything out of it, they're very well polished, is what I'm trying to say.
it's pretty overproduced though.
Yeah, I agree, but I think that adds to the industrial part of it, right?
I guess. Yeah, it just adds to the whole vibe of this album is like just supposed to be like abrasive, like kind of scary, right? Yeah, their
Yeah.
name is Death Grips, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, it's this song is really good. I read through the lyrics.
Mm-hmm.
It's like pretty loosely about just like breaking out of social norms. You're in the cage.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
So it's talking about like murder and drugs,
Mm-hmm.
money, doing what they do to no,
Right.
like none of this stuff's kosher, right? But this is my life. That's how I
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah. It's about kind of like just doing you, I guess.
Fuck that, man. My philosophy: don't take a goddamn
Yeah, I
thing.
was
Voice
literally-
in my head, kill everything.
Just reading that, yeah.
Yeah. Again, production's really great. That's what really carries this album for me.
Mhm.
We've mentioned already. I don't really listen to the lyrics that much. It's just kind of another instrument. It's similar to like Cookie Monster vocals and metal.
Yeah.
Like
Where
it's
you're
just
just kinda-
there as part of the noise.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
Um,
yeah, good track. Cage
Yeah.
is up there.
wait, this is another track where I was like, meh, I don't like this.
Yeah, you could definitely just delete this song. So
Yeah, so can we just talk about that intro and that sample and like
what the fuck is that?
yeah, like what? Like, literally, so like literally what I have written is interesting intro and transition, but like, and then literally like a line of question marks. Like what?
Yeah, what the fuck is this? Yeah, what is this? It's like Arabic or something.
Yeah, like I have no idea, dude. Like,
It's taken from the song Wahida from the album Music from Saharan Cell Phones Volume 2.
like
So apparently it's just some random African shit. I don't know. This album is a compilation of music collected from cell phone memory cards in Sahara Desert. What
no,
the
no
fuck?
fucking way, bro.
What the fuck is that? Man, these guys' samples are
Yeah, I mean,
it reminds me of Mad Villainy as well. Like they get the weirdest fucking
yeah,
samples.
just the weirdest samples. I think that's cool though. I always enjoy that. What is this? I'm looking at this.
why
right now.
why is this here? They're like, yeah, we can work with this too. This is good.
Here's what I want to know: is like, how do you come across this? You know, like, how are you like? Just,
Yeah, that's a big big rabbit hole in YouTube or something.
Is it really?
Probably. Like, how else do you find that?
I know, like it's gotta be, right? Like it's not like these guys. There's no way these guys knew about this prior for like years, and they're like, "Yo, this album is hard, bro." Like, there's no. I refuse to believe it.
They were probably just fucked up on Addies or something, just watching a bunch of weird shit on YouTube and came across it. They're like, yeah, all right, I want this.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's the only way. Adderall is the only way I see this.
There's no other option.
Yeah, Adderall is literally the only way. Like, I refuse to believe that these guys knew about this prior.
This album goes back to the whole like horrorcore thing. This song just talks about like getting at people who are punk weight.
What does that mean? Punk weight.
I don't know, but I assume it means that you're a little punk and not like, you know, fit to fight people.
Is that what it means?
It's
I'm pretty sure it means something. It has something to do with steroids, as far as I can tell.
it might be.
Yeah. 5/8" is a syringe. 25 and 5/8. Okay, this I feel like it's already stretching.
Oh yeah, you really got to try and figure out what the fuck they're trying to say.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The use of steroids to make an illusion of real weight in the sense of looking street tough, but actually just being punk weight. That's yeah,
right. Yeah, so there you go.
yeah. I think that's what it is. I don't know. Never heard that term before, and I don't think I'll ever use it. So
Yeah, I don't think I will either.
yeah. Do you want to move on to fuck that? Because this was like,
This is a throwaway song.
I have something funny written for this one. This is what I mean. Like after I feel like
Sorry, Punk Weight was a throwaway song. All I wrote for Punk Weight was highly overproduced bass. That's it.
yeah. Well,
Nothing more. I was like, I don't have anything else to say about this song.
I pretty much just said interesting intro and transition. That's literally what I said. But
Yeah. Yeah, fuck that's interesting.
yeah, I mean, it's literally just screaming over light drum beat and synths, which like you could
The
say
beat,
that.
like, it's weird though, right? It's like steel drums or something.
Yeah, I was gonna
It's
see.
like a street performer.
I was
like
gonna say it was steel drums, but I didn't want to say it was steel drums if it wasn't, because it's actually kind of hard to tell, right? Like it's not.
well, you could also just put like some sort of like modulator on a normal drum kit,
Well,
right? But
yeah,
it sounds like steel drums, so I'm gonna call it that
right.
until I know better.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's got this like it's almost like a tribal like thing going
Yeah,
on, just
yeah.
like the way the beat.
But he's literally like screaming
like-
over it.
Yeah. He does that a lot.
yeah. It's so like I don't know. I would if this was something more like Get Got, I actually feel like it would have benefited because of how like the beat. It's not relaxing, but it's very much more low key than all of the other beats that you see on here, right? It's not as like heavy bass. It's not like that heavy synth, but
It's a vibe though. You're like,
yeah,
I don't know. It's not necessarily a good one, but it's just like yeah. And then lyrically, this song is just like violent.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
This
yeah,
is basically murder rap. Like he's just
it,
talking about all the ways that he will fuck people up.
yeah. My combat boots grind your head to the cadence of this death stomping moo. Like holy
Yeah.
fuck. Like,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
It's like
Yeah,
his fuck contagion waging war with all you new bitch. Mossberg ballistic flux massive my sure beta. Yeah, like I don't know, man.
hazmat. Yeah, this is a lot.
Pump slugster radioactive. Like he's got radioactive fucking bullets and he's in a hazmat suit.
Holy
Like, what the fuck is going on here? Made to knock. Knock made to off every last bitch on this planet. Fuck that.
no,
Yeah.
fuck that. Yeah, yeah. That's
Yeah,
fucking nuts.
this is like horrorcore. This is what I was getting at. Like
Yeah.
this is like incredibly violent, very descriptive of just how fucking violent this man is. Like he's probably like, if you want to like get meta on this album, maybe he just hit some fucking crack or something, right? And like this is how he goes. Like
Holy
he's like,
shit. Yeah, maybe you're actually right. Maybe they just do crack. Sorry.
oh, I wasn't saying that. I was saying more so like in the context of the album. Like I don't know if it's trying to tell a story, but like maybe this is like him on a schizophrenic episode.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is like I can't get behind the idea that they're trying to tell a story because there's no progression. It starts up there and then it stays there for
I
the
think
whole
the
album.
story they're trying to tell is that this is clearly a schizophrenic homeless man, right?
Right. Yeah. I mean,
And
no,
this
it's
is
a hot
this is like,
take. I
all
actually
of these
think,
are just adventures that he gets on,
I actually think you might be right. That makes sense.
and this is one of his adventures where he gets
Yeah.
really pissed off.
Yeah, I actually think you might be right.
it, yeah, song's aggressive. It's all
Yeah,
right.
it is.
The
It's
beat's
really
pretty
aggressive.
weird, but it's all right. Yeah, I feel like through the middle, like yeah, the first half of this album's a little better to me.
Yeah, I was saying that. Yeah, I actually completely agree. And I think that like everything, so you get like track 9, 10, I think are weaker tracks. And then I think that track 13 is a weaker track. And I think that The Fever is also one of the weaker tracks. So I think like overall, I have like 9 out of 13 tracks that I actually like somewhat enjoy. And then out of those 9, I would say like 4 or 5 are really, really good.
Right.
Right? So it's like I'm very divisive. It's very divisive. Like it's very hard for me to kind of like rank it because of how up and down everything is.
Yeah, I agree. It's,
Yeah.
a rough one.
So
Yeah, this album's got a lot going on.
yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot going on. So what about Bitch Please?
I don't think this song is good,
I actually really like this song.
but I do think the hook is kind of funny.
Okay.
It's like
yeah.
it's kind of like so like this whole song. He's kind of talking about how like he can like hang with the best of them, I guess, and like
Yeah.
rap or just in general.
Mm-hmm.
And the hook, bitch, please, you must be smoking rocks. It's like it's kind of like a mockery of like mid to late 2000s like club anthems.
Oh yeah.
To me, like the way
yeah,
he's like
yeah.
quote unquote singing, it kind of sounds like he's singing like let's say in the club.
Yeah.
I'm in the club, ba-da-da-da-ba-da-ba. It's just like he's like, oh, you got these like weak ass fucking catchy singing hooks, like you guys are bitches, you know?
Right,
And he's
yeah.
like, you must be smoking rocks.
Yeah.
Like I made that connection and I found it pretty funny.
That actually is, dude. I actually appreciate that a lot more now. I actually like this song a lot more now that you say that.
Yeah, it's
I
kind of
mean-
like his way of saying, listen, I got it too, and you bitches have some weak shit going on. Like you sound like pussies.
Yeah. I mean,
Which is
I feel
fine.
like this song also, like, with the high pitched synths and the beat in the foreground, like, the high pitched synths are kind of more in the background for this song, and I think it gives the song a lot more scope. I actually really liked it. I don't know. And his vocals aren't, like, overbearing. Like, the only point where I would say that they're really, like, coming at you is in the chorus, and you kind of already expect that. So, I think that's why I like this song, and, like, I don't mind it. Like,
Yeah, that's also like a big part of why it kind of sounds like a mockery of like all those like club beats too. It's
Yeah, yeah,
because of
yeah.
those synths, right? Like I don't know if you're familiar with Gorilla Zoe.
Gorillas?
Gorilla Zoe or Zoe, I
No,
think.
no idea who that
Zoe.
is.
He's a like mid to late 2000s like gangster rapper, I guess.
Gorilla Zoe. Okay. Yeah.
Right. So like his bigger songs have like synths like that, and he's just like rapping over it, and it's just like I don't know. It gave you like huge mockeries of Gorilla Zoe vibes specifically, but
Yeah, I
uh,
mean, I didn't know who this guy was. I feel like maybe you're probably right, but
I don't think
yeah.
he's like specifically targeting this guy. It's not like he was a huge rapper. He probably has like a few million hits on his songs type deal.
Right. Yeah, yeah.
But uh yeah, like those synths are like very like signature of like that era.
Like would you say early 2000s?
Like mid 2000s to
Yeah.
late 2000s, like 2000 like 5 to 7 maybe,
Mhm.
or like 4 to 7.
I
Yeah.
would probably agree. That's like as long as rap goes, that's definitely the phase that we were in.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like radio rap had all those like
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
stuff going on.
Uh so we can finish off with Hacker now. Hackers is an interesting one because I actually think that as far as an outro track goes, it does everything that it needs to because
Yes.
it's giving you like absolutely every element that they've brought into this album and kind of throwing it into one thing. And uh I think it's a huge mess because of that. Like I'm not gonna lie, I think the song is really messy. That's why I wouldn't necessarily call it good. But I think as far as an outro track goes, it's very well done. Right? Like please
I
try.
really like the hook in this song. I know that much.
Yeah, the hook is good, and
I'm in your area. It's
yeah,
also like kind of outcasty too, I feel like. Maybe I'm
oh
just
yeah.
crazy.
I feel like we're getting a lot of Outcast connections. I gotta listen to that 2003 album, man.
Yeah. Maybe I'm just nuts. But it's
I'll let you know.
yeah, you can tell me I'm whack. That's cool. uh yeah, I like this song. I think this song is good. I don't think it's best on the album. Like we've talked about the beats so much. It's just
I
like
know. Yeah, that's such a big element of them, though, right? Like their
it's the
production
whole
is.
thing.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, those huge synths, the wild synths again though, man. I'm super
yeah,
into that.
yeah, yeah. I mean,
I,
I'll agree
I
with you there, but
I love those funky synths. It's like electro house almost over the chorus. It's like, yeah, I want to dance.
right, yeah. I mean, I'm not much of a dancer. I definitely don't get that vibe, but I think I think what they were trying to do with this track is kind of like bring in every element that they've brought into this album. So like you have kind of like the more in the background, kind of like faster rapping from MC Ride, as well as you have like his screaming at some points. You have like big overbearing synths, as well as you have very deep bass and really good drumming, right? So it's kind of like everything in one. And it's like the longest track on here, so I think it shows with that as well.
Yeah, and I like how like he like kind of talks about how he's like local now.
Okay.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like people know who he is. I'm in your area. I know the first three numbers. I'm in your area. It's kind of
Yeah,
like
yeah.
also like spooky to the extent it's like okay, this is like more horror shit. But
Right.
at the same time, it's like I'm a household name now. I'm in your area. Like people know who I am.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, yeah.
and I think that's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool, actually. All right. Well, honestly, after talking about it, I think I'm gonna move my score up to a 6, man.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this album's like again like there's not a lot of tracks where I'm like get this out of here. It's more like it's not good.
Yeah. Exactly.
And
That's
then
the,
there's some really great tracks. So it's pretty hit and miss, but overall there's nothing I hate. So I have to give it like a pretty fair rating, like 7.5
Mhm,
in that area.
mhm.
Strong 7.
maybe we dive deeper into Death Grips at some point and kind of like see where they went, right? Because that's a pretty early Death Grips album. We could do like Near the Snitch or Bottomless Pit at some point.
Yeah, whatever their newest one is, maybe I haven't looked into it, but
I feel like let's do that because I have a lot of experience with Bottomless Pit. I listened to it a decent amount in like first or second
University.
year. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's we could try the new one and see how that goes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm into that.
Yeah.
Yeah, overall, like, I guess I don't know what songs I'd even throw away. Like, Punk Weight, probably. Good to it.
Punk Weight, what else? I was saying we could probably like I know you like Fuck That, but like I think those two songs are probably like the most out of place.
Fuck, that's kind of weak. I just thought it was crazy how violent it was. Like,
Right, yeah. I feel like you could probably get rid of those two songs, right? And then I feel like you would benefit from a much shorter runtime with this.
I mean, it's already pretty short, is the thing. But like listening to it, I'm like, damn, I got more to listen to. Like,
yeah,
because it wasn't really a chore, but it was kind of a chore. It's okay. I got to listen to the album for the review. And
yeah.
Like 41 minutes is the runtime, so it's not even that big. But
it kind of
songs just like yeah.
I think that just has to do with like the type of music that it is.
It's
like,
too much, right? It's just like sensory overload.
It is. I showed it to Raquel, and she literally said like, yeah, it's literally like I don't understand this. Like I don't know what's going on, and like I don't like it. Like it's too much.
Yeah,
it's literally just too much. I was like, that's fair.
Sure, it's your girlfriend. By the
yeah, that is my girlfriend. Yes.
Yeah. Well, I didn't want to inform you necessarily. Well, I mean, in case you didn't know.
In case you didn't know, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's got more of a traditional music taste, though, I think.
Yeah, she definitely does. It's definitely not out there. All right, so.
Yeah, I guess 7.5 and 6.
Yeah, 7.5 and 6 for the Money Store on Death Grips. And next week, we will be reviewing. Well, Victor, do you have any ideas, or do you want me to pick? Because I got some ideas.
It's your choice.
All right.
I picked this album. We're going back and forth.
All right. Let's do Views.
Views.
Yeah. So are you familiar with this album?
Who is it?
It's Drake. It's Drake.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I am not. I mean, I probably know some songs. Like Drake always makes like radio bangers, right? So I've probably heard a handful of them.
So, you definitely know,
like Controlla and One Dance,
Hotline Bling. You know.
Oh, and Hotline Bling.
Yeah.
And yeah, I know. Yeah, I just looked through the track list. I know 3 of them by title.
Right. This album's really interesting because of how hyped it was. He talked about it for like 4 years, and yeah, I mean, we'll get into it next week. All right. Yeah.
Let's do this. And Views by Drake.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Take care, everybody. Hope you enjoyed the review.
Yeah. Have a good night, everyone. Thanks for listening.